Hi, I'm Dr. Jason J. Campbell, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. This video is a continuation of my analysis into medical ethics. The books that I'm using for my video, first is Classic Works in Medical Ethics. I'll be using this today in the analysis in section 2.0. And the second is Tough Decisions, Cases in Medical Ethics. I'll be using this for the next installment. So you need to have both those books. I'll be supplementing the reading with, and you should be reading, right? You don't just watch the videos. Like, get the book and do the reading as well. I mean, it'll really help your understanding. It takes the reading to a whole nother level. The videos by themselves are great. The videos in conjunction with the books is another level, right? It's just another level. It greatly expands the literature, because you're going to have your own interpretation based on your own reading, right? So, super important. You guys know the spiel by now, hopefully. If you want to get the notes, click the link in the description field, download the notes. I just updated it. You should always be, every time you come back to the series, because I know people watch these series over, actually people watch my series over years, my Nietzsche series. A few people have, my series are very long, 50 plus hours. It takes for some years to watch the series. The idea is, whenever you come back to my lecture series to gain more knowledge, make sure you update the notes and you have the most up-to-date version of the notes. In this analysis today, we're going to be on page 6 of my notes, and we're going to cover this text, page 21 through 34 in this text. So make sure you get the text, page 21 through 34. And with that, let's begin. So this is medical ethics, and this is section 2.0. Okay, so we're going to be looking at, the author's name is James Rachels. This is like, it's the first in the book. This is a canonical piece, right? Actually, this is, of all the pieces that I'm going to do, probably going to be one of my favorite. I have another one that I like a lot, but this is one of my favorite. I've discussed this in classes privately. This is the first time I'm lecturing on it. No, actually, I think I discussed this publicly already. In my euthanasia video, this discussion today will center around euthanasia indirectly. The thrust of the lecture is actually going to be greater than that. But in my euthanasia video that I put up probably 2 years ago, I might have referenced this, but at the time I forgot the author's name. But now I'm formally going to be presenting the author's work, which is James Rachels. Powerful, powerful, seminal piece. The name of the article is Active and Passive Euthanasia. And the article, again, is represented here in this book. So, to begin, I've uploaded a brief 50-minute discussion of euthanasia. Just click the link. It'll take you to my analysis of euthanasia. So if you want to have a really, really full analysis and understanding of all the different facets of euthanasia and the combinations, I go into pretty serious, it's 50 minutes, so it's not a lot of sort of lecture. But the idea is you're going to have a really good understanding of euthanasia. I recommend, you don't have to, but I recommend pausing the video if you got the time. Go over, watch the lecture series on euthanasia, take good notes, come back, and that will inform even greater your understanding of sort of the power of what James Rachels did in this absolutely canonical, timeless piece. So I'm just going to give you some background information. I'm not going to talk about it at all. If you want more information, this is more links, right? My idea also, what I love about PDFs and hyperlinking and all that other stuff. First of all, I love the interchangeability of media. I can hyperlink to text, I can hyperlink to video, I can hyperlink to all types of stuff, social media. The thing that I want the PDF to do is I want the PDF to sort of oversaturate information. There should always be more information here than is necessary, because I don't know who you are. So I have to make the information as generalizable as possible to facilitate the needs of most people. So if this is just overkill, don't worry about it. But, for background information, you can also, in addition to watching the videos, read the Karen and Quinlan case of 75. I'm not going to discuss it at all. It sort of informs this whole position. For context, the thesis of the article is the following. So now we officially begin. This is the formal beginning. So the thesis of the article is the following. This is a direct quote, Rachel's challenges the claim that passive euthanasia, and I have a typo, and I'll change that, that passive euthanasia, or letting die, is always more humane than active euthanasia, or the direct killing of the patient. So, I mean, at first glance it seems rather obvious. Wow, allowing someone to die, of course that's better than actively killing a person. I'll talk about that in a second. In some situations, he argues, it may be more humane to kill. So, just to warn you where this video is going, and it's not me, this is a canonical piece, this has been published for forever. I was born when this was published, so it's an old school piece, but it's powerful. The idea is this. We have, and the implications, I'll let you draw the implications yourself. I'm not doing implications, I'm just presenting information objectively. We have, as a society, an aversion to actively taking the life of other human beings, especially within the medical community, right? Because of the Nazi atrocities and such, the Japanese experiments in Unit 731 that I discussed in last section and so on, right? We have, and justifiably, this is not to say that it's not justifiable. It is absolutely justifiable. We have an aversion to the active killing of patients by the medical community, as we should. I can't really speak for Rachel's, so I'll speak for myself. It isn't to say that there isn't a justification in this aversion that we have socially to killing. However, what attracts me so much to this piece, and I've read this piece probably a decade ago, and I've referenced the piece in my euthanasia that I did maybe 2 years ago, but now I'm doing it formally because it's finally time to come to this. Everything in its time. Is that I want, via the text, to also do what Rachel's did, but I want to challenge you as a global audience to think about the idea of the morality, right? The morality of actively killing. That's what this is really about. What this whole discourse is about, and I'm conceptually framing the nature of the discourse because I want you from the beginning to know where this is going to go, because you know, I don't know my audience, you might not want to hear a lecture that condones active killing. This lecture is about actively killing people as being morally justifiable. So if you don't like that, for whatever reasons, religious or otherwise, stop watching the video. This video is going to be a defense in terms of James Rachel's account in his canonical text of the justifiability and the morality of actively killing. So that's what this lecture is about. Just as a sort of background, cover my bases, you know what you're getting into if you continue to watch. Okay, so let's talk about the assumptions then. Between the two. So we'll split the board in half. These are assumptions. We will later refute this to some extent. Well, I wouldn't say refute. Refute's too strong. We'll amend this. We'll complicate it. But sort of the basic assumptions are as follows. Okay. We have letting die, or allowing, A-L-L-O-W-I-N-G-D-E-A, right? Allowing you'll hear someone, oh, well, you know, we allowed them to die, in a colloquial sense, in a general sort of man on the street sense. We have direct killing, right? Immediately, we want to just conceptually make the distinction, right? Allowing to die is better than directly, actively killing someone. Why? Because they would have died anyway. This is sort of just general vibes first, ghetto philosophy. Right? Allowing to die is better. Why? Because, I mean, they would have died anyway, right? So it's not really bad because the medical community was helping them live. If you pull the tubes, people know the general discussion, if you pull the tubes, the G-tube, feeding tube, what have you, respiratory tubes, whatever, you pull them, they would have died naturally anyway, they're allowed to die. However, taking, you know, a syringe filled with your favorite cocktail of, you know, narcotic, or not really narcotic, your favorite cocktail of, you know, lethal injection.